Okay, so now we're going to look at equations of lines. So we want to look at some special lines. So we've already talked about horizontal and vertical lines before. Remember, those are your Hoy lines. So your graph is going to be horizontal. And that's what the H is supposed to help you remember how the graph looks. Remember, the O is supposed to help you remember slope. And the slope of all horizontal lines is 0. And then the third letter in Hoy is supposed to help you remember the equation. It is a y equals equation for horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are parallel to the x-axis. And then you have your vertical lines. So the things you need to remember about a vertical line is the graph is vertical, which means it's going to go up and down. Okay, the U is to help you remember about the slope of a vertical line is undefined. So I'm just going to put UND for undefined. It's also to help you remember that the line goes up and down. And then the third letter is to help you remember about the equation, that it is an x equals equation, which is what this information is telling you. An important thing about vertical lines is they are perpendicular to the x-axis because they are vertical. Some other important lines you need to know about are parallel lines. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope, okay? That's what's causing those lines to lean in the same direction, and that's why they never cross. They have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if I had, and that's what's causing them to form a right angle, so 90 degrees. So if I have a slope of 1/3 and I want to find the slope of a line that's perpendicular to that one, all I have to do is flip the fraction. That's what the word reciprocal means. So I would switch the 3 and the 1. So now I would have 3/1. And then opposite means opposite sign. So if this is a positive 1/3, then the opposite of a positive would be a negative. So the perpendicular line's slope would be a -3. So now we're going to answer a couple of questions, see if you can figure this out. So what is the slope of a line that is parallel to the x-axis? So remember, we're going to be parallel to the x-axis. So we got to think, what direction does the x-axis run? And the x-axis, remember, is a flat line. It is a Hoy line. So the slope of every horizontal line is m equals 0. And the second question is asking, what is the slope of a line that's perpendicular to the x-axis? So I want to think perpendicular to the x-axis. That means I want to go up and down because the x-axis is flat. So that is actually going to be a Vux line. And if I remember what these letters are supposed to help me remember, that would be vertical, the slope, and the equation. The slope of every vertical line is undefined. And what is the slope of a line parallel to the y-axis? So I've got to think, okay, what direction, what does the y-axis look like? And the y-axis is actually going vertical. So the slope of a line that is parallel to the y-axis is also going to be vertical because those lines are never going to cross. So m is equal to undefined. And then what is the slope of a line that is perpendicular to the y-axis? So if I want to remember, perpendicular means they're going to be meeting at a right angle. So the y-axis actually goes up and down. So that means to be perpendicular to the y-axis, I would actually have to be horizontal, which would be a Hoy line. So a slope of a horizontal line is going to be m equals 0. Some things to help you remember about parallel and perpendicular is KFC, which we are going to look at in the next video.